Hi, I'm Ed, and I just installed a dual battery isolator kit. This is from Kemimoto on my Honda Pioneer 1000-5. You can also do this same trick on some of the other ones as well, as long as you have that secondary little battery, little box in there. I put in a Mighty Max battery. I'll go ahead and show how that install went. So if you're trying to do some research on this, you'll be able to see what the wiring kind of looks like. This was kind of an all-day thing because I was also moving some things around and cleaning up the wiring from a different project, which was the winch install. But still going to go ahead and show how this works. From Kemimoto, so it's a kit. This particular one I really like because when doing some research on this, there is an extra wire on here to create an auxiliary bypass. So in case your main starter battery goes dead, you can use the auxiliary battery to also start the vehicle. That's one of the things I'm very paranoid of, is not having enough power to start the vehicle in the event that something does happen. So, okay, so here is my smart battery isolator. So what we do is we have the one line that comes from our main battery right here, loops in, and then I really like these because you end up knocking out the plates on this, and so that way once you kind of screw and cinch this down, it kind of keeps everything from getting inside there or anything like that. So on the bottom side of this, you'll see that it's a whole epoxy fill, but you also have these two wires that comes off of it. One of them is a ground wire. The other one is for a bypass line, which is one of the reasons why I really like this, because here is the electrical diagram. You can go ahead and pause this if you want to go ahead and reference this to be able to take a look. But what we're doing here is we have an emergency emergency start switch, and the idea here is we have our Mighty Max battery right here. Whoop. So this is our secondary auxiliary battery. I have my fuse box. This is also another product from Honda sidebyside.com. So that's Honda SXS.com. And so I will put this in. I also have my stinger right here. And so what I'm doing is I'm running these lines for the battery isolation directly to here. There's my auxiliary, and then here's the main part. Then I have another line comes off of this, and it goes into my stinger for hot, and then the output of that ends up going to my fuse box. So all of my accessory stuff is driven off of the secondary. The extra wire that's coming off of my hot is because it's driving the winch. So winch doesn't go through my fuse block. I'll probably do something to add a resettable fuse or something like that just for this. But for now, this is how I have it set up. But I do also have an isolation to turn this thing off, on and off. So it's only going to be turned on when I actually need it. So. But anyways, the reason why I also did this, because it comes with everything that you need. So look back at this. There is the actual isolation number 1 and 2, and then you have the dash mount voltage, and you also have a relay system that goes in place. So the relay is kind of interesting. Let me see if I can find it in here. The relay, what it does is it wires in such a way that it's turning on and off the ground that goes to the switch. Okay, so that's the little relay. And so part of this, here we go. So you have so you look at this from the back side. So this goes to your ACC. This is another. So there's a plug that sits up here on the right hand side. That's your ACC plug, and there's also another Honda side-by-side product that you pull the cap off, you plug this thing in, and then you just have a tail wire so you can plug it in wherever you need to. I have it running down across here going into my stinger relay. So because the relay also needs to get ACC power, I just dropped it into one of the lug plugs on my stinger right there. Okay. And then it calls out that it needs a spare ignition activated ground. I did not actually hook that one up. So you have this ground here. So I just tied that into my fuse block for ground because both batteries are tied together anyways. And then the other part goes into the voltage sensor. So I'll go ahead and show that real quick. So here is my voltage meter. So it's just sitting here on the dashboard. So the top one is the main, and the bottom one is auxiliary. So it's running a little low right now because I have a light on right now while I'm doing this. Also, I haven't started it up. I'll go ahead and start this and charge the battery up. But this is, so it's reads right here on the dashboard. You can see the difference between them. The other thing is, in the event that I end up draining the the main battery, which is the starter battery, for any reason. I don't think I'm ever going to get to that point, but in case the battery goes bad or something like that because of age, and I haven't replaced it yet, that's more than likely what's going to end up happening. But I have a solar charge control right here, and have a big panel that's up on the roof. Link in the description below for instructions and a walkthrough on that. But the idea here is I should always have power, so because this is constantly trickle charging the system. But in case this ever does go dead, this Kemimoto battery isolator, it has an extra little wire here, so I'm going to run this into a switch. So this is going to go to a switch, and then the other part of the switch is going to go to ground. And when you touch this to ground, I just did that, and it turned the relay on. So what this just did, just by doing that, is it's just a momentary push that you need, and it turns on the relay. So now you can use the auxiliary battery as another power source, and it bridges the two together, so that way you can go ahead and start the battery, start the vehicle up, even if the starter battery is bad. So this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to get this particular option, so I have this if I need it. So don't want to get stuck out in the field just because something stupid happens. And just to demonstrate this, I have obviously the engine running, and the voltage. It's obviously bridging the two together, so it's charging it up. And so look over here, you're going to end up seeing the little light on, and if I turn the key off, it'll take just a few moments, and then that light will turn off. So once the battery voltage falls, so it does indicate this on the instructions here. It has to fall below the 12.8, which can take a few moments. So it recommends, hey, if you really want it to shut off faster, turn on a load of some kind, and it'll bring that voltage down, and then it'll shut it off. So it's got to wait for the voltage on the main starter battery to go ahead and fall just a little bit, which is normal because the batteries usually stabilize after they are done getting charged, and then it'll go ahead and shut off. Okay, so real quick, so it's something I did discover. I did touch this on the video earlier, and so it caused it to kick on. Now, the engine is not running right now, and so this is kind of a status change, and I don't think it has a timer on there. So this is kind of like a manual override. So if you want this to shut back off and go back into that auto stage, you're gonna have to hit it again. So again, another good reason for having this on a momentary switch. So with the engine running, obviously I have 14 volts coming in, so that's the reason also why this is staying open, because it is charging not only this guy, but this guy has a high enough voltage, and so it's spilling over the extra power also into the secondary battery, so it's charging both of them, so bringing that all back up. So that is basically it for this particular one. This is a Kemimoto. There's the part skew and everything like that. So pretty nice little kit. I did have to kind of splice. Well, actually no, the wires are actually perfect length. The only wire you have to splice is this white one, because this is what the intended for is for the battery monitor. So yeah, pretty easy kit. Okay, so that is the Kemimoto smart battery isolator. Hopefully this was helpful, especially with the walkthrough and everything like that. If it was, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and happy riding.